Hello everyone. So Bob Costas of NBC decided to use the tragedy of Cassandra Perkins and Javon Belcher to promote his opinion on gun control. Now, for those of you that don't know what happened, Kansas City Chiefs starting linebacker Javon Belcher killed his girlfriend Cassandra Perkins after she threatened to leave him, taking along their 3-month-old daughter with her. Belcher shot Perkins 9 times in front of his very own mother, who was there helping out with the new baby. Belcher then went to the parking lot of the Kansas City Chiefs practice facility and shot himself in the head in front of his coach and general manager. So anyway, NBC sports broadcaster Bob Costas decided to use some of the Sunday Night Football halftime segment to promote gun control by quoting what Fox Sports columnist Jason Whitlock wrote in an article on foxsports.com. Costas quoted Whitlock's article by stating, quote, "Handguns do not enhance our safety. They exacerbate our flaws, tempt us to escalate arguments, and bait us into embracing confrontation rather than avoiding it." Bob Costas also quoted Jason Whitlock by stating, quote, "If Javon Belcher did not possess a gun, he and Cassandra Perkins would both be alive today." I mean, look, I've read Whitlock's article on foxsports.com, and what Belcher does not say is that Whitlock also went on a very cynical and verbose rant about the NFL and Kansas City Chiefs going forward and allowing this, quote, "violent game to be played." Whitlock also says in the article that society is numb to gun violence and murder. He says that the right to bear arms does not protect us from the government and the weapons that they carry. Whitlock also says something along the lines of that more domestic disputes will end up like the tragedy of Cassandra Perkins and Javon Belcher because of our current gun culture. So, I mean, why are sports commentators like Bob Costas and sports journalists like Jason Whitlock using this tragedy as a political football to promote their opinion on gun control? You know, I thought it was very ironic to hear "God Bless America" being sung beautifully in the background as I listened to the Bob Costas anti-Second Amendment rant. I don't find it surprising, however, that NBC decided to focus on him instead of the beautiful rendition of that song. I mean, are Bob Costas and Jason Whitlock aware of the number of people that have had their lives saved every year because they exercise the right to bear arms? Are they aware of the statistics of criminal homicides when guns are banned? And do they actually believe that Javon Belcher and Cassandra Perkins would still be alive today if Belcher did not have a gun? I mean, could Belcher not have used a knife like O.J. Simpson? Could Belcher not have used his hands to choke her to death? How about drowning or suffocation? He could not have run her over with a car? I mean, how about poison or an iron pipe? How about some rope or a baseball bat? I mean, would these two sports reporters then say we need to ban all baseball bats? I mean, look, blaming a gun for a killing or a suicide is like blaming a fork for obesity. There are obviously other methods to carry out their motives. Let's blame the murderer, Javon Belcher. He murdered Cassandra Perkins. She is the victim. Her daughter and all the other family members are the victims. Jason Whitlock seems to be the one that is numb as to who the criminal is here, and that's only Javon Belcher. And since Whitlock says we are numb to gun violence and that football is a violent game, should we also ban football? And maybe he should quit his job since his articles would include violent details. Look, the Second Amendment is a very cherished and sacred part of our Constitution. And I'm sick of politicians and people in the media creating propaganda to suggest that we ban it. Remember everything in the Trayvon Martin case that was hidden and edited by the media so they could sell their story that Trayvon Martin was an innocent victim of a deadly handgun shot by a racist? Well, as time went on, we learned that there was more video of George Zimmerman injured and more missing audio of the 9/11 call that had a lot more on it than just George Zimmerman saying that Trayvon Martin is black. Well, now a new picture of Zimmerman has finally surfaced, showing just how much of a victim he really was, and that Zimmerman needed to protect himself, as the one who caused these injuries was either going for Zimmerman's gun or to bash his head into the ground if he didn't have one or couldn't get to it. Again, individuals will find ways to carry out their motives if they can't get to a gun. Look, we have the right to defend ourselves with deadly force or the threat of deadly force if we need to in America. And I just can't believe there are still many people that want to take that right away.